Welcome to the Men's Lifeline Academy. My name is Ackerman, and I'm the host. And today we have our first person coming back. We have Andy Harris, who, if you remember in one of the earlier episodes of this podcast about 2 years ago, Andy talked about his life after divorce and how he went from being overweight to in shape. And now he's gracing us with his presence again to tell us who he's been, what's been going on, and how is he continuing to not just be a man of action, and how is he encouraging other people, other men, to do the same. Andy, oh my gosh, dude, welcome back.
Thanks, man. I'm excited to be here. Good to be here this morning, and it's fun. It's fun to come on here again and just catch up a little bit. And life continues to move on and continues to go and continues to grow. So just excited to be here again.
Yeah, and 2 years later, man, you still looking good, man. And you look like you're more in shape and just on that big. I know you're doing all those CrossFit competitions. So where have you been like 2 years later?
Yeah, it's a good question. I have done some. I haven't competed in a little while. I'm actually looking to one in October to get back into competition. So it'll be fun to get back in there. But yeah, I have done a few and enjoy them. It's fun to compete. It's fun to just to get back in that environment, which is fun. I was an athlete growing up, so anytime I get a chance to compete is exciting and fun and just brings that joy and energy. I think it's why I love CrossFit. I say this quite often. I say this to clients. I wouldn't recommend CrossFit for everybody. I don't think it's for everyone because it can be, you have to be really wise and smart and have the right coaches. In this gym that I'm at, just incredible coaches, incredible people. The guy who runs it is a incredible mentor of mine, good friend. And really intentional with his athletes. And so it makes it a really fun place to be. And then we get to compete and get to have fun. And so that competitive nature, I don't think we had talked about this on the podcast the first time is because I don't think I was there yet, is right about the time I had lost about 80 pounds. Mm-hmm. I met him at a word retreat that I was helping out with. And he's like, dude, come to my gym. And that just changed. It just shifted so many things. I was at a place where I was getting tired of going on my own. I was getting exhausted, and I had guys around me, right? Like Tyler and Mike and Zach and all of these guys that were around, but no one in person. Right. And so it was awesome to be able to get into that gym, and then just the environment and the people and who are there really just kind of took off. And it's been fun I'm stronger than I've ever been in my life. And, I played sports growing up. So I lifted weights and different things, although I wish I would have lifted more. But it's fun to be the strongest you've ever been at 38. So I'm enjoying it.
No, that's awesome to hear that life and that vigor. And you're absolutely right. And that's something that is coming out more and more now. Online communities are fantastic. They help support us, encourage us, especially if we don't really see them around. And at the same time, you can't replace in-person people, that bond, that connection, that physical touch, and especially since you found a gym and some mentors that are even helping you to make sure you're on that journey of always getting stronger to the best that you can.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's a big thing. I talk with clients about it too, is it's one thing to have an online person, and it's great. Like, to have anyone to talk to is good. It's where I reached out in the beginning. I didn't want to talk to anybody in town. So with where my story was. And so I reached out to people online, but once you get into a community in person, it shifts things, it changes things because they're there. There's something about that connection. I mean, we talk about it in the online world today is, there's a lot of young people and adults now, but young people especially, where like they have a tough time communicating in person because it's always in text or Snapchat or some other way, right? And there's just something to being connected and being in person. And so it's been a beautiful thing to have, and to just have that community around me and to be a part of it it's just reshaped so many different things and helped to, just continue in that journey.
Nice. So how's your coaching business going? How's that going? Because I know you mentioned if you're having a few clients.
Yeah. So I'm working with I think 3 guys right now, but right now, honestly, it's what I would say building in the background. I think it's one of those things where my what the Lord's told me in my life is I'm going to restore you to restore others, and He's still restoring my life. Like my life is continuing to take those steps and continuing to go, and so part of that is rebuilding financially. So I'm a State Farm agent right now, working at State Farm and enjoying it, loving being there. It's been fun, and then working with people in the background when I can, and helping people along. And it's funny because he'll just bring people. I think one of the guys I've been working with for about 6 months now, another guy just a couple weeks, and then one of the other guys working with off and on. How sometimes it goes where you have a client that you're working to get consistent. So I'm hoping he'll stick around. But regardless, whoever's in my life, I think that's wherever we are, we can have impact. And I think that's the piece for me that, I'm pretty open-handed with my business. I love coaching. I will coach for the rest of my life. I will serve men for the rest of my life. But how it looks, what happens with it, what it does, it really for me is just about service and helping others. And so it's been fun to do that more so kind of in the background right now and building as I go. And there's still things that are happening. Like I get to go speak at Ty's conference here in a few weeks. And I'm doing the podcast. We have a podcast now too, called the True Roots Podcast. And we're building a men's discipleship course over this next year. And I think we're, 24, 25 episodes into that right now. And so it's been really enjoyable to do. And so the coaching is going, what I would say is going great. But it's more just like in the building phases of building in the background and letting God take it where he wants to. And really it's open hand. If he doesn't want to take it anywhere, that's great. I mean, I will serve where I'm at. And so getting to do that, I'm helping mentor a guy right now at State Farm and working, where I am. So it's wherever you are, I think we can have impact. And I think that's where it's like, and this wasn't your question, but I think there is this piece of, wanting to do it in the business. And I do. Like I have the business. I want to keep growing in that and growing as a men's coach. I love doing that. And wherever we are, we can have impact. And so we need to make sure that our hands are open in whatever we're doing.
You just unpacked a lot in there. One, you got a podcast going on?
Yeah. The True Roots Podcast.
How have I not seen this yet?
I haven't promoted it a whole lot, to be honest. I haven't promoted it, especially I think you and I follow each other more on X, and I haven't been promoting it too awful much at the moment, but it's out there and it's been fun. We've been doing about 20 to 40-minute episodes. We're taking the commands of Jesus and just walking through them. And so the guy I do it with creates a PDF that we have that has a question at the end of it to do each week with those episodes, and just helping to disciple men and helping men to follow Jesus. So it's been really fun to do with him. That's not how it started. It started as a True Roots, identity, what are your beliefs in, and belief dictates behavior, which we still talk about because that's true. But it's shifted into hey, let's just help men follow the Lord, and that's what we're doing now. So it's been really good, been fun.
All right, well, you got to make sure you send me that information. So one, I can check it out, and two, we can put it below here, so that way if a man's out there needing some help and not only wants to support this podcast, but we also want to make sure that we support everything that you're doing, whether it be your coaching business, your podcast, just your general life as it is, especially since, and I can definitely see this. I know when we first did this, I think, you've done maybe a few podcasts before you came on mine.
Yeah, I think there was maybe one or two. I'd done Ty's. Trying to think. I don't know who the other one was right now 2 years ago. Apologies to whoever that was. I'm sorry. It's just my brain. I'm 38. but yeah. So yeah, a couple of them, which has been fun to do. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can see such a huge difference in you. You got so much more life in you, more vigor, especially when you're still working on being anew, right? We're now working on your financial end. Especially going from, I can't remember what you did before, but now going to State Farm.
Yeah, I was a teacher. I was a teacher for 10 years and then stopped in the midst of divorce. And then I got back and I started working at this company called Elite Jumps, which is it's a local company, but they also ship all over the world. They're a jump rope company, actually. So they're in fitness. And so it was really fun to work there. And the guy that I worked for is actually became a mentor of mine, and got to sit around the table from him and our production manager every day for over a year or about a year. And just getting to sit around the table with them each day helped to reshape my life. I mean, we would read books together. I remember we read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People together. We would, talk through numbers of the business. We would pray together each morning. We would talk about life, like where things are. And so it was a really cool experience. And then I jumped out to do my business, and I'm still doing that. But finances, just, getting those where they need to be, jumped back into State Farm. So it's been a journey of those different steps along the way. And restoration, I think God redeems in the right time, the way that he needs to. And what he's done with me is just taken me in the different steps, and it's still allowed me to coach others in the places that we've been. But you can only take people as far as you've been. Mm-hmm. That's really something I believe. And it's hard to walk people through things that you haven't been down those roads. Not that you can't still help. I mean, we can obviously still help. I mean, you're a counselor as well, right? You can still help them. But when you've walked the road, it gives a lot of credence and credibility to being able to walk someone else down that same road. And so in some ways, I think God allows my process to be slower, to rebuild my own self, to build my character, not just for me, but for whoever I'm going to impact later on. That, well, I've walked this road. So when I come and talk to you about, hey, this is going to be really hard, this is going to be really challenging, it's going to suck for a little bit, but hey, just know I went through that too, and I've gone through that too, and I can help you in those moments of despair and discouragement, because I've been in those moments of despair and discouragement. And so anyway, so I think that's just it's a fun piece to look at and a hard piece to look at. I think there's times where I'm like, I want it to be faster. And God's like, hey, just trust me. We'll just go at the right time, and your character is going to be built. And when character is built, then it's much more important than getting anywhere quicker. Because you don't want to get to a place, the pastor at the church that I go to said, you never want your platform to outpace your character. Because then when you get that platform, your character's not there and able to handle it. And I don't want that either. Whether I have a platform or not, I don't even care. But if that happens at some point and things grow, say I went viral tomorrow, it's like, I want to have the character to be able to sit in that and not be concerned about, people following me or what people think or how that, it's like, I want to be able to have the character to still stand in who I am in the Lord and walk that direction, regardless of where my life is.
No, it's really awesome, because I just honestly got done reading with John Maxwell and Rob Hoskins, Change Your World.
Okay. Yeah.
And that, what you just mentioned, really emphasizes what's in that book is really kind of prepare yourself for the change, because change is hard. People change when they have to, when they hurt enough, and when they have more opportunities and maybe resources. One of the key things that what I really love that you just highlighted is that don't allow you, when you get there, make sure your character's there as well, if not further along, because anyone can handle when someone tells you good things. The key question they brought up, because of Rob's kid, was the fact that, what do you do when people want to hurt you? How do you handle when people aren't going to say the nicest things about you? Or, hey, this episode is terrible. What happened to the last one? Last one was fantastic. Like, this one was terrible, man.
Yeah.
So it's like learning how to even handle all those stripes. So how do you handle that when you have your own setbacks and difficulties in life?
Yeah. And I think with that, to be able to do that, I think having a community around you is such a critical piece of that too, in the sense of, as you grow. I mean, I had a brother the other day, mentor of mine. He had me do a 2-week review of my life and write everything down that I did for 2 weeks. And he's like, don't sugarcoat it. Like, just write it down. Just write down what you do. I want to see, he actually even didn't tell me what he wanted to see in the beginning. He told me that afterwards, which was good. He's like, this is what I was looking for. This is what I was seeing. And there's a lot of good in how my last 2 weeks were. I mean, my life in a lot of ways of what the Lord's reshaped. Like, I'm making healthy choices. I'm doing healthy things, but there's things in there that gave him some pause. And he's like, hey, this is something that I would encourage you about, or this is something that I would encourage you about. One thing in this season that I've noticed is I haven't wanted to be still or to be quiet. I feel like I'm not still right now.
Mm-hmm.
God's growing me in some pretty challenging ways at the moment. And so he just called me out on that. He's like, hey, when you had extended time with the Lord, it's weird. He did some things in your life, but though you've been spending time with him daily and you've still been doing healthy things, you haven't wanted to spend extended time. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to get quiet with him right now. I don't know what it is in my soul. It just doesn't want to do it. And the reason I bring that up is this: that guy I'm allowing to speak into my life and saying, hey, I want to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it hurts, even if it's not something I want to hear, like I still have places and blind spots and pieces of my life that I don't see that I would love for you to speak into. He's one of the most still guys I know. Like he's one of those guys that you just walk in the room and you instantly feel calm because he's calm, he's peaceful. And so he's one of those guys I'm like, man, that's where I want to get in my life with the Lord, is to be a guy that walks in the room and is like so content in who I am in the Lord that I can just be there for others. Because a lot of times it's hard to be there for others when we're so concerned still in our own self and worried about what other people are thinking about us. It's hard to serve. It's hard to be focused on others. And so he's helping me in that. But the reason I bring that up is that as we walk this journey of life, we need people that are going to be able to speak those things in our private life so that our public life can actually be what it needs to be. And it's not just for that reason, obviously, right? Like it doesn't matter if we're online. It doesn't matter if we're doing things out in the public. But public life, what I mean by public life is that we're able to go be wherever we are. You know, whether that's a job at Home Depot, whether that's being a teacher, whether that's, working at State Farm like I am right now. Like in order to go be in these environments and be able to serve and love others well, we have to be able to work in the private places of our lives with people around us that we let into those pieces so that we can grow and change. And we need people that have traveled farther along than us. The life coaches that I know, like Ty, have life coaches, have coaches that are coaching them,
Right.
and so I think that that's just a beautiful piece of what it takes to really get to that next level in character development. Is like, it's always the Lord. In my opinion, it's always the Lord. Like the Lord will be the one that is my teacher and my helper and teaching me. And then the Lord will always bring us to community. And so he will teach us in community what he wants to do and how he wants to do it. And some of those things aren't always fun, being like, oh man, I got to go sit in silence. It's like, I don't really want to do that, but I need to. Like, I haven't done it as much outside of just like my daily habits. And so anyways, just deeper levels. I'm going different directions today, but just so you know, some of those deeper levels that I feel like the Lord's taken me in character development, and whether that's for a business to take off someday or whether it's just to serve whoever's in front of me forever, and be in this job, it doesn't matter. I still want the same character, and his character. So.
Yeah, especially with impact. I mean, impact one life, one person at a time, one life at a time.
Yep, 100%.
It's all about knowing, it's not seeing. Because I think when we get into that aspect of like wanting to like grow like a great business, right?
Yeah.
We always think so far ahead in the future what it's gonna be like. We forget the person in front of us, and that's when we kind of get back to treating people like numbers.
Yeah.
Versus, good, I'm glad I have this person here because they're gonna help support this, because finances are tough. Raising money. I mean, it's a lot of investment going into a coach, especially someone you don't know, and trying to learn from them and trying to make sure that they're consistent with their own life as best as possible. I mean, no one's going to be perfect by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
And I can't imagine how much practice that guy had to have that stillness. Because you always see the character, always see all the hard work, the trials, the mistakes, the doubts, and everything. And that's what gets kind of missed a lot of times.
Yeah, well, let me just share a little bit about him. I mean, I'm not going to share his story, but I'll share some of the stillness practices that he has. And he's gone through some things. But one of the things that he does is he goes to what he calls the secret place. And this is something that's talked about in the Bible, and go to the secret place with the Lord. And so the Lord actually walked him into creating the secret place, and he has it somewhere. I actually don't know where it is. Somewhere in town here. I think it's out of town. But he'll go and he'll just spend like a whole day, just him and the Lord
Wow.
in quiet and in
So not
stillness.
even in his room or house or apartment, just like a totally different location.
Yeah, and he created it. Like he built this
Wow.
place for this. And he'll go there and he'll pray. He'll spend time in the Word. He'll go on a walk with the Lord. He'll just listen. And what happens in those places of silence and space, especially this day and age, right? Like we're always on our phones. We're always on technology. Like
Right.
he's specific creating space. It reminds me of Zach Homo, who went and did the in the dark, quiet thing for, I think it was 3 days that
Yeah,
he
I
did that,
remember
where he
him
was
talking about that a couple years
yeah,
ago.
he came back and talked about that. And it's a similar thing in the sense that and he does this, I know at least once a month, but I think he does it maybe once every couple of weeks, that he goes up
Okay.
there and is just quiet for a day, whether it's 6 hours, whether it's 12 hours, I don't know fully, but he's there and he's quiet and he's still and he's just with his dad. He's just with the Father. He's just with Jesus. So, and in that you see the reflection, right? Like they talk about with Moses when he came back down off Mount Sinai and he was glowing.
Yep.
It's like, that's what this guy has, is that
Wow.
glow from spending time with him. And so he's just a guy that you want to be around and learn from. And so when he speaks into my life, it's like, even if there's things that I'm like, I don't know if I agree or I don't know. I'm like, but he knows Jesus. Like I should listen. Like I should heed and listen to this and process this and know that he's only, and one of the things that he'll always say as a mentor is, well, take it to Jesus, ask him about it. Like, don't just take this from me, ask him. And that's a guy that you want to have as a mentor, somebody who's willing to speak into your life, but also is like, I'm not the end all be all. Like,
Right.
ask the Lord. And if he reveals this to you, then walk in it. So yeah, really good stuff.
No, it's very humbling to say that. It's like, don't take my word for it. Go do your own homework, do your own
Yep.
research.
Yep.
A word that I want to say it's Greek, but it's called being Berean. So it means always studying, preparing, kind of like how the Bible says, always have an answer for somebody.
Yeah.
And so let's kind of make sure you do your homework, your studies, and all the science and data. I mean, backs up a lot of things about, a lot of that ancient knowledge that's like, thousands of years old. It's like still relevant today. I mean, it shows you how true this is, whether it be some form of mindfulness and some form of stillness and taking those deep breaths that calms the body. One of my favorite examples is, and how much we need help too, is like when you stub your toe, and viewers, have you ever stubbed your toe?
Oh yeah, it hurts.
And like you just like held your breath, and you're just like, how many times did you need someone like beside you to say, you got to breathe, or you're gonna pass out on me? I mean, come on now.
Yeah,
I can't have you pass out, because if you pass out, then, well, I guess that's the day.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I think that's where just having people that walk alongside you, because there's going to be time. I mean, I'm in this season. I spoke about. I actually just got to do another podcast, and I spoke about this on there a little bit of the dark night of the soul. And I feel like I'm in this place where the Lord He's got me to this place. He got rid of all of these things that I was doing, all of these behaviors. He's reshaped my beliefs. He's taught me how to walk with him, to get to the deeper pieces of my life and the deeper wounds, the wounds from my marriage that are deep. And, I walked back into dating, and like those things resurfaced, and it's like, oh, like I'm still afraid. I'm still really scared. And I don't just know how to be. And so he's brought me to this place to get to that deeper wound. That deeper wound for me, especially, is like, I'm not worth it. I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. I'll never be enough. I'm a piece of garbage. Like, these are like the deep seated beliefs that, like, I know are lies, but they still feel really strong. And he's getting to these places and ripping them out and pulling them out. And so this season has been really challenging as he's walking me through that. But to have people that'll walk alongside you. I'm in this men's group of, I think there's 15 guys in this men's group. It's this year-long men's program that we're doing, and we're walking through it. And this isn't my program. This is something I'm walking with men. And I have men that are younger than me, older than me in this group, men that are farther along in faith than me, men that are, and that's a funny thing to say, but you know what I mean? Like more mature in the faith, I guess I should say. And like we're just at different levels, right? Different spots. And so it allows all of us to pull each other along and to move each other along. And so in that, it's just been exciting to see like how that has continued to propel even in this, like what I would say, dark night of the soul, where I'm like learning to be still and learning to let my full identity be in the Lord, where I feel like I thought I had my full identity in there. And then he rooted up some lies. And I think that's sometimes like with anxiety, this is something that I would love to share real quick, is like sometimes with anxiety, we want to like breathe through it or get through it or get it to just like go away, the feeling. But quite often what I've found is that when anxiety gets highlighted, often it's the Lord being like, hey, like I'm letting this come up so that I can heal it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want you to see like, oh, like, why am I anxious here? Like, what is causing this anxiety? What's making me nervous? What's causing me to fight or to flee? You know, what is causing this fight or flight inside my soul? And to like ask the Lord about it. Cause quite often, like it's a place that he still wants to heal. Quite often he's raising up letting you see the fear that you still have so that he can show you how to face it and walk through it. And it's hard. Like that's difficult. Like I've been dealing with anxiety the last like couple months of my life, and I hadn't been dealing with that really over the last couple of years. Like I've always dealt with anxiety, depression, but the Lord had walked me through it with belief and behavior and changing and choosing and walking in a different direction than that. But now he's like getting to the deepest roots of that so that I can actually walk free in it. Which I'm not there yet. Like this is a place where I'm not there yet. I like to share when I'm already there. You know, I'm not there yet, but he's revealing these things and then walking me through healing with brothers, with himself, so that I can walk even more free in the future, which isn't.
Yeah, and that's a
isn't
good
there yet,
observation
so,
too with anxiety, because a lot of times we want to push away those unpleasant feelings. Like I like to say those intense emotions, and just want to push them away versus saying, okay, what's going on? Because these alarms that are going off, that amygdala, that response, that fight, freeze response, there's a reason for it.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I remember someone once told me, and I thought this was a genius statement, where they basically said a lot of times we try to distract ourselves, which in some forms is a good starting spot. However, we never then address what's really going on. It's like we're always distracting, and we're not addressing what is at the core, what is happening. Like you just had a key question, and that's a scary question. Why? What is causing me to feel this form of anxiety? What is causing me to feel like this sense of urgency, this sense of dread? Because if we just like want to push everything away, we're never going to discover what's going on, especially when we use God, or if you believe in another higher power, you know, believe what you want to believe. The question then becomes is, what are you searching for? Like, what kind of peace do you want? Because I know everyone's focused on happiness. Well, how about peace in your life?
Yeah. Well, and I would, with that too, is like happiness is an emotion, right? Like
It
to
is.
chase an emotion is not a very fun place to be in life. Like, because emotions are going to change, right? Emotions are going to shift.
Yeah.
Like you talk about with peace, it's different. It's different than an emotion. Like it is
Yeah.
still in some ways a feeling, right? Peace
It
is
is.
still like being peaceful. Like this guy that I talk about, like his peace is still in some ways a feeling, like, but it's who he is. It's
Yeah.
not this, it's not this something that fluctuates like this. It's who he is. It's his deep, it's his core. It's the core of who he is at peace. And I would even say like with coping mechanisms with anxiety, like those are all good. I love breath work. That stuff is good. Those things are all good. But if we only use the techniques and don't face the issue, then we'll just be coping through anxiety for the rest of our lives rather than
Right.
getting to the root of anxiety, which is really like, it's what the work that you do, right?
Yep.
It's getting to the root of what the reasons are for that. So then we can step towards it and face it rather than just cope through it. And then those coping mechanisms are great because now we can breathe through it. Like we can recognize and we see the root, and now we're facing it and walking towards it rather than, okay, I'm going to breathe. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to get through this and I'll move on. It's like, no, the goal isn't to be to just be calm each time anxiety comes up. The goal is to face anxiety and figure out why it's there so that we can actually like heal through anxiety and grow through anxiety and grow through depression. Because those things are going to come, right? Like anxiousness, being depressed, being down, like that's a part of life. Mm-hmm. And people really do deal with these things. Like they're real things. I deal with them. They're real things. So please don't let me sound like I'm dismissing it. They're real things. In those real things, in order to heal through them, we have to get to the root of them and then face that root and figure out the steps that we need to take to face it and walk through it.
You know what? You heard it best from Andy. Face the anxiety and don't face it alone.
Yeah, for sure.
Use God, your high power, use breath work, and take some time to really sit down. And Andy's a great guy, so I'm going to send him your way. If you need some coaching, you need some guidance, you're a guy who's kind of lost, don't know where to go, Andy's your guy to go to. If you want to lose some weight, Andy's your guy to go to. You want to learn about breath work and what it means to be a man and identities and everything, Andy's your guy. And his podcast is going to be in the description below because we love to support the guests who come up on here. And if you're also a guy and you want to support this channel, that would mean the world to me. So make sure you like it, subscribe, and share this so you can help a fellow brother in need. And if you're a guy and need some help, we have the Men's Lifeline Discord group that meets Monday, 7 p.m. EST. We have weekly lessons and where we cover and dive deep into different lessons. So for right now, we're learning into how to respond to people. That's our main focus right now, because it's important to learn how to respond. So, Andy, I just want to say thank you for coming back on the podcast. I missed you. And now, like, when I saw like our ability to reconnect, I'm like, heck yes, how can I make this happen? And we made it happen. So, Andy, just thank you for your time today. I appreciate you, brother.